We're limitless beings. The reason why we get stuck and we put ourselves in this box is because of our thought patterns and our words and the people that we are surrounded by. You're gonna truly be surprised at how often you're hearing it in other people. Practice the flip thoughts. If you catch yourself thinking, I'll never make that much, you say, I already am. Or I'm not good enough, I am powerful, I am worthy. I'm Alexa and welcome to the Wellith podcast. In this episode, I wanted to talk about limiting beliefs. The reason why I wanted to talk about this today is because it's so common to hear people voice their own limiting beliefs. It's very commonplace. It's very casual, whether it's from your friends or your family or random strangers, like people at the checkout counter at the grocery store. We often hear things like, oh, I could never do that. I could never have that job, or I could never go on that vacation to that place, or I could never make that much money. I could never have that house. I could never live there. We hear it all the time. The truth is, and I do believe that this is a universal truth and a spiritual truth, is that we are actually limitless. We're limitless beings. And the reason why we get stuck and we put ourselves in this box is because of our thought patterns and our words, and also the people that we are surrounded by as well. Some people are surrounded by people who are worse at limiting beliefs. I've been around groups of people where it's the way that people connect with each other is just spouting out limiting beliefs one after the other. And I've been around people who I never hear them say a limiting belief in their friend group ever. And I think that you can guess which group of people is more quote unquote successful. And when I use the word successful, I don't necessarily mean that it has to be like financially successful or career. Success can mean a number of things. It's subjective and we each define it differently. It can be success in your health, success in your career, financial success in your social life. It means different things to different people. And I think that's important to note because ultimately for me, success is a contentment, a peace, and gratitude as well. Gratitude is a huge, huge component of feeling successful because there's a lot of people who have made more than enough money and they don't feel successful. But that's a topic for another time. Those people who are not constantly spouting out limiting beliefs all the time, they tend to be more positive and they tend to be more purpose driven as well because they feel like they can do things. They feel like they can accomplish things. That makes one more content and potentially brings you more happiness. So the reality is that you can create your own path, your own income, and your own reality. How do we do this? How do we get out of the box that we put ourselves in? Because we all do it. We all put ourselves in a box. The first step is to recognize it, to be mindful of what our box looks like, to be mindful of what our thoughts are saying, to be mindful of what our words are saying. I always like to think words are spells, speak it out loud, and that is your reality. It's important to be really careful about what we say out loud and also what we say to ourselves in our thoughts. It all shapes our reality. I live in California, and something that I've always wanted and so many other people, especially of my generation, have always wanted is to own a home. And for many, many years, it was very easy to have it get me down with the housing situation and how expensive things are and blah, 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 right? It's very easy to hang on to that thought because there's so much data to back it up. There's so many people that are in the same boat, but you can actually switch that up and choose to believe another side of the coin. I do believe that everything in life is duality. There's both sides to everything simultaneously. And the way that I have switched that particular example up in my brain, the reality is that Millions of people in this state own their own home. Millions of people, and there are more people doing it every single day. So why can't I? Why can't you? If millions of people are doing it every single day, and it's something that you really want and are willing to work for and be strategic about, and you can do that as well. So again, it's good also to surround yourself, not only to make sure you're balancing out your thoughts with both sides of a situation, but also being around people who have that thing that you want or the job or whatever. So like in the case of owning your own home, sometimes I'll just go walk in neighborhoods that I would like to live in. And now I live in a neighborhood that I really love now, and I don't do this as often as I used to. But when I was in a neighborhood that I really didn't like, I would go walk in a very nice neighborhood, and it made me realize there are so many people doing the thing that I want to do. And that gave me a sense of possibility, and that opened up the box in my brain, right? Also, these people don't have any special advantages. Most people are self-made. So if they can do it, why can't you do it? They're no smarter, or, maybe some of them are more well connected, but the majority started out as no smarter or no better connected than you are right now. They can do it. Why can't you? Why can't I do it? And the answer is you can do it. If it's something that you really, really want, you can do it, and so can I. It's just about opening up our mind. So, personal story time. Because, I love a personal story. I have ADHD, and I had a horrible time in school. I didn't have very good academic performance. A lot of negative labels were put on me. Kids would call me dumb. Teachers would call me out in school and make me look dumb because I didn't finish something, or I didn't have my homework in time, or a number of things. They would just completely humiliate me in front of a whole class. I always internalized all of this external negativity that I thought I must be dumb. I didn't know I had ADHD at the time. I wasn't diagnosed until I was 18 and I was out of school. I internalized all of this. I started to believe it. Started to believe I wasn't enough. I started to believe I'll never be successful. But deep down, in my heart of hearts and my gut, I always knew that there was more. I always had this sense that I would be. But it took years and years of therapy and a million other tools, which I'm going to get into in a second, to strip away all of that negative stuff that was coming at me, and that ended up being negative self-beliefs and negative thoughts. And eventually I was able to reprogram my brain to what is the truth. So I did therapy for years. I started doing yoga. I started meditating. I started eating better. Here's what really changed my brain even more. Affirmations, positive affirmations. There's a million videos on YouTube with positive affirmations, and I could not recommend this more. When we've been programmed to be negative and have negative self-talk, it's so important. It's such a great way to kick off positive self-talk when you start listening to positive affirmations, because in the beginning, we're not really able to it can be very difficult to switch into positive affirmation mode when our subconscious is programmed already for negative and negative self-talk. So to start flooding your mind with positive affirmations is such a great way to kick off the change in your brain and to rewire your brain. I recommend listening to positive affirmations. The best time to listen to them is first thing in the morning and last thing at night, because that's when our brain is going into the alpha state, the flow state, which I have a video on, which I highly recommend listening to, how to get into the flow state. It's getting into the flow state, and our subconscious is very much more of a sponge and able to be tapped into and reprogrammed. So essentially, we're most receptive at that time. Another way to reprogram your brain is by scripting. I had to grab my journal right here. This is my manifestation journal, and it just has pages and pages and pages of scripting. This is my journal, and I write in it again first thing in the morning. I just script and script and script of what I want my life to look like. Scripting is essentially, it is your journal, and you write in it as if that is your life, as if that is your diary, even though the things in it may or may not have already happened. And it's all from this place of gratitude and abundance mindset. So, you can write I am statements like I am successful, I am abundant, I am healthy, and get really specific with it as well. If, you want to make a career change, then you write, I am so grateful today that I was able to get my dream job in XYZ, and I am living this way in 2025 or whatever year it is. And thank you, universe, or whatever. So you can map out your whole life. You can create your whole life by scripting. And it's really important to do this on a physical piece of paper, because for whatever reason, if you write it in your phone or your computer or whatever digital thing, nothing will manifest. So it's important to physically write it down. You just treat it like a journal of your dream life, but as if it's already happened. That's called the law of assumption. You're assuming it's already happened and this is your life. And why this works is because you get into the vibration of what you're wanting to attract into your life. This is all a practice, right? So you want to try and do it as often as possible, whether that be daily or even just start out with once a week, 2 times a week, as much as you possibly can. Start listening to your affirmations, writing your affirmations down, scripting, and visualizing all of it as well as if it's already happened. Just make sure to go at it in a state of calm and gratitude, and not I want, and this needs to happen now, because that is not a vibration or an energy of gratitude, and it's only going to repel what you want to bring into your life energetically. As I mentioned before, the first step in changing your limiting beliefs is being mindful of them, is awareness. You have to notice that you are having these thoughts or you're saying these things before you can even change them, because the problem with these is that they are so subconscious, and again, it's so common that we don't even notice when we're doing it or thinking it. Start noticing it, and when your mind says I can't, catch it and say, says who, right? I can. So you want to catch it and flip it, right? I can't do this. I'll never be consistent with working out. I am consistent with working out. And you might not even believe it. The first 20 times that you say it to yourself, you might not even believe it, but this is kind of like a fake it till you make it kind of thing, because eventually you start believing it. It's the power of the mind. It's pretty amazing. And even though it can be hard to mold the mind and change our wiring, it is possible. The more you practice these things, the more you're changing your neural pathways and the easier it gets, but you need to keep practicing always. It's just like lifting weights. You have to keep working that muscle. And then, of course, you want to start noticing it in others, which you're going to truly be surprised at how often you're hearing it in other people. And please comment down below once you start being mindful of the people around you. Were you surprised of how much people were saying limiting things or not? Let me know, because I'm pretty sure you're going to be shocked at how common it is. Again, it's like flipping the thought. You want to practice the flip thought. If you catch yourself thinking, I'll never make that much, you say, I already am, or I'm not good enough, I am powerful, I am worthy. Like flip it. Flip thought. Use a flip thought and shoot high with your vision, because as they say, shoot for the moon and you'll land amongst the stars. Don't be afraid to shoot high, but don't overwhelm yourself either. When I hear others have limiting beliefs as well, I really like to practice this flip thought with them. You want to be careful. You want to plant seeds and not push people, because some people aren't ready to receive. Some people are on their own journey and they need to figure things out for themselves, and that's okay. Everyone's on their own journey and you can't help people. But as an encouragement, I like to look at it as being an encouraging friend or being an encouraging loved one. If I hear someone say a limiting thought, I will say, yes, you can. Like, I think you'd be great at that. I think you'd be awesome at that. I could totally see you doing that. Things like that. It's not being pushy, but you're encouraging, which I think is such a beautiful, positive effect to have on people. Again, we are absolutely limitless. I mean, people used to think that you couldn't do a 4-minute mile, and now people are doing it. I also invite you to think about things in your life that you thought that you couldn't do, and you were sure of it. Boy, were you sure of it. I couldn't do that, and then you did it. Because we don't remember always like the positive things in our life. I invite you to think of 1 or 2 times in your life where you were sure you couldn't do something. Maybe it was a presentation at work, or getting a promotion, or being healthier, taking care of a loved one, or taking care of an animal, or whatever it may be in your life. Think about something that you thought for sure you were not capable of, you could never do in a million years, and then you did it. We have limitless possibility, and we must recognize that, and we must stop putting ourselves in a box. We all have something to offer the world and each other. Like Joni Mitchell said, we are stardust, we are golden. You are stardust, you are golden. And you can do whatever you set your mind to. If it's something you really want to do and you are willing to do the work and practice, then I have no doubt that you can do it. Cool thing about having this belief is that it has a ripple effect on others. If you are surrounded by people who are constantly voicing their limiting beliefs, then imagine what that will do if you are consistently voicing your belief in yourself and your beliefs in others. And it's not in a pushy way. It's a leading by example kind of way, and it's being encouraging to others. If you say, oh, I totally think you can do that, and they say, no, I could never do that, don't keep going back and trying to change their mind about it. Just let it go. You say it once and you can let it go, and you just want to plant those seeds, and hopefully they'll grow into beautiful thoughts of belief. You are the universe experiencing itself. You are limitless. Leave a comment if you have limiting beliefs that you want to get rid of, that you want to flip. Feel free to save this video for whenever doubt creeps in. I'm so grateful for anyone who has listened to this. Before we end this, I just want to lead you in an I am affirmation. If you could just think this or say this out loud with me, that would be amazing. So let's start with, I am limitless. I am as expansive as the universe. I am capable of doing anything that I want. I am powerful. Feel free to subscribe for more like this, and check out my video on how to get into the flow state. My wish is that at least one person got something from this. And if you did, leave a like and a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. It's free, and blessings. See you in the next one. Bye.